to get going. Gotta catch those runners taking off like a Boeing. If the volume spikes, then it's time to trade. Mighty 90 setting up, it's time to get paid. Navigation trading on the mic, time to get focused. We don't need any indicator, hocus pocus. It's all about the price, just watch it move. Manage your risks so you don't lose. First hour of trading is all we need. Focus on the patience and forget about greed.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's day trading live stream. Today is Friday, January 9th. Hope everyone is ready to roll today. We got some stuff going on. Today, the S&P pre-market futures are up 9 points. NASDAQ up 31. Russell up 8. Dow up 46. We had NFP this morning. You can see we had the spike. Price spiked up, and now it has since rolled back over. S&P currently at previous day high. NASDAQ pushed up to previous day high and rolled back down. Russell rolling over as well. Gold is up 1%. Silver's up 4.5%. Notes and bonds and yields are flat. Oil is up 2%. Natural gas is down 2%. Soybeans are a little bit green. Wheat and corn red. Euro and the pound a little bit red, and Bitcoin down 0.5%. VIX was up about 2% before the NFP news came out. Now it's down 1%, currently about 15.31. We still have the potential tariff news coming today. You can see the options are pricing in almost a 40-point move in SPX today, which is, it's been around 23 to 25 lately. So definitely pricing in some movement today. So I am going to enter my 6-7 put calendar at the open, but I'm going to do it half size, and then 1 DTE won't qualify, so I'm not going to do that. And then I've also paused my BICs, so I'm not going to do any tranches this morning, and so we'll see what happens. And I may do some afternoon tranches, but that is my plan for today. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, based on what we're seeing after the NFP report, I mean, that's some kind of whippy stuff. And then I don't know what to expect from the tariff stuff. I think, if you look at Polymarket, it's still showing just a 25% chance that they rule in favor. But obviously the real question is, how does the market react to that? I don't know. It depends. I think it depends a lot on what they say. There's the whole question about paying them back and all that stuff. If there's a lot of uncertainty, the market's going to be down to volatile. So that's kind of what I expect. Biggest movers on my watch list: OKLO is up 17%, Open Doors up 10%, ASML's up 3%. Biggest red, GM is down 2%. They're pulling back on their EV stuff. QCOM's down 2%. BABA, Microsoft a little bit red. Netflix a little bit red. There's the opening bell. And we've got SPX expected move at about 39.73. 39.73 compared to 27 yesterday. NVIDIA and Tesla going into the red. And Meta, Netflix week. Apple is holding green for now. Goog a little bit green. Most chip stocks coming down. PLTR coming down. Banks moving up, staying green. Along with IWM. Another day where IWM's moving up and the Qs are moving down and S&P's kind of in the middle. Seen that movie recently. S&P just hanging near its previous day high. NASDAQ into the red. Got Meta trying to bounce back into the green. Getting a little bit of buyers coming in. S&P's a little dip, getting bought up a little bit. PLTR and Amazon and MSTR showing a little bit of relative weakness here. Got some things bouncing, but Amazon's super weak. Amazon's been on quite a little run lately. Netflix super weak. MSTR pushing through lows. Meta was green, now it's flushing back down. Amazon's still moving lower. S&P not moving too much. Nvidia bounced off previous day low. All right, getting a little more bounce coming in here. S&P, Qs, Russell staying strong. Meta popped back up above previous day high. Tesla bouncing. Meta through through pre-market highs. So Meta acting a little bit strong. I'm going to get some Meta calls ready. Well, I'm on the stream. I don't like to do 0 DTE because they just move really fast. So I'm going to do 7 DTE. So I would trade the 655s. So I'm just going to get those loaded on my watch list. Apple breaking through pre-market lows. Seeing some strength come in here now. Hood pushing through previous day high. I'm going to load up some Hood calls as well. Hood 7 DTE calls. I would trade the 120s. Meta paused at pre-market highs and popped. S&P, NASDAQ pumping. Hood dipped down to previous day high and popped a little bit. Chips are moving. Everything up. I'm entering the 6-7 now, Dark Avenger. Just half size. I don't know if you heard me earlier. Meta pulling back to pre-market highs. On the 69.45 strike for my 6-7. Get that posted. Yeah, I think we're definitely going to hear something on the tariff stuff today. All right, so now we're getting a little dip. Okay, so I'm watching Meta and Hood. Meta right back to pre-market highs here. If I take Meta, it'd be the 655 calls. I'm taking Meta. Filled at 707 on the 655 calls in Meta. Got a good reaction again off pre-market highs. Let's see if we can make another push. Markets are acting pretty strong here. I'll put my first profit target at $8 in Meta. See if we can make a new high here. Got a volume bar too. I didn't notice. So a nice little pullback after a big volume bar. I would consider adding a little bit if we pull back to previous day high in Meta. Goog off to the races. Goog pushed up to previous day high, kind of getting rejected there. Tesla's bouncing up, trying to go green. I want to see how Meta reacts here. If we get a little bit of a reaction off previous day high, I'll add a little bit on Meta. This market needs to stay strong too. IWM still at highs. S&P and NASDAQ, nice bounce. Hood still at highs. Nvidia's at highs. Amazon a little weaker today. We do have some red folder stuff at 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern, which is consumer sentiment and inflation expectations. So I don't want to have a full position going into that. Meta still right at previous day high here. I'd like to see a nice little reaction off this level in Meta. Reaction to the upside, that is. Google definitely shown the best relative strength here. All right, I'm going to probably cut Meta here if it doesn't bounce. See if Meta's going to hold here. Tesla's still grinding up towards previous day close. Hood came down, a little reaction off previous day high. Hood was the other one I was watching. That looks like a pretty good entry too right now on Hood. Here's Hood. Kind of came down to right back down to previous day high and bounced. I like Hood better than I do my current meta position. Still just sitting there right at previous day high. I need a bounce here. Market S&P kind of dipped. NASDAQ paused. Russell's dipping. Now Hood is dipping. So that didn't hold well. Need the indices to hold and pop. Hold and pop. NVIDIA just kind of chopping near unchanged. Google, not much of an extension through previous day high here. Google did hit a new all-time high on that first little, or on this current bar. Intel, nice momentum push on Intel. Ripping through previous day high. It's up 7%. OKLO had a big gap up. It's just kind of chopping. Same with Open Door. All right, seeing some weakness come in. Let's see if Meta's going to hold or not. I've got my order ready to cut. PLTR flushing, NVIDIA coming down, Microsoft through lows. Netflix pushed back up to previous day low. It's coming down. Meta's actually holding up pretty well for now, but I'm going to have to cut here. Give it just another, it's got a few seconds, got a little bit less than a minute to the end of this bar here. S&P's little dips getting bought up at previous day high. NASDAQ bought up a little bit at previous day close. Let's see if we can hold here, boys. Stay strong and hold. Tesla rejected a little bit, trying to go green. PLTR ticked through lows, but nice bounce. A little bit of a bounce. Polymarket just popped up to a 32% chance in favor of the tariffs. Yeah, I probably won't do a 1 DTE today. with all this stuff going on out there. No, I'm not doing any morning tranches. I'm going to see what happens in the afternoon. Meta still just hanging out right here, right between previous day high and previous day close. I'm just wanting to give it a little bit of a chance here because it did hold up kind of well. I'm going to need to cut to manage risk, but if it doesn't bounce. Tesla pushing green. Netflix rolling over back towards lows. All right, I'm going to need to cut Meta here. All right, I'm out of Meta. Filled at 550. Well, I liked that trade with the different levels and the price action and the volume. Had a lot of things going for it, but everything kind of rolled over. Yeah, this in favor of the tariffs is moving up here. It's interesting. And now we're getting a little bounce out of the S&P. Keeping an eye on Meta. I may still re-enter here, but just had to cut for now. Tesla pushing up to previous day high. Watching Tesla as well. We do have news coming out in a little under 5 minutes. I'm going to load up some Tesla calls to have those ready. I'll do the 445s if I trade it. So I'm going to wait till after the news before I do anything, but possible re-entry in Meta, possible entry with calls in Tesla. Yeah, they've been talking about that, Dave S. They claim that even if the tariffs get shot down, that nothing's really going to change, that they kind of have backup of some sort. Goog's still holding up relatively well also. PLTR couldn't get green. NVIDIA getting shut down, back in the red. Meta bounced back up. Be back in 1 minute. Tesla's still just holding near previous day high. Same with Meta. Yeah, I was hoping to sneak in a quick little pop out of Meta before everything, but that did not work out. Netflix through lows. Chip stocks are kind of going different directions. MU is strong, up 3%. AMD unchanged. AVGO choppy. SMH is pretty strong overall, hanging out near previous day high. Let's see what banks are doing here. Banks are pretty choppy to unchanged. Cryptos coming down. Coin down 3%. MSTR down 5.5%. Circle down 1.5%. Hood was strong, pushed above previous day high. Now it's back to unchanged. Tesla pushing above previous day high now. S&P holding. NASDAQ holding green. IWM bouncing. The news coming out here in a few seconds is preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations. So not big monster releases or anything like that, but definitely could see a little shake up. Okay, data's being released. Not much of a reaction, a little bit of a bounce, if anything. Meta's bouncing. Tesla right up to that pre-market high level. Apple through lows, Microsoft through lows, little dip in the S&P and NASDAQ. Tesla is showing some relative strength here. I'm looking at the 445 calls in Tesla. A lot of things dipping, but Tesla is not. I'm taking Tesla calls. Filled at 695. Right at pre-market highs. I don't want to risk much more than previous day high. Tesla pushing up. Put my first profit target at 770. Apple's been weak and it's starting to bounce. Amazon has been strong recently, but today acting a little bit weaker. S&P, NASDAQ dip, getting bought up. Google still holding pretty well. Meta's just kind of sitting there doing nothing. Need another little push up in Tesla. Didn't quite get to my profit target. Hit the options hit about $7.50. My order's at $7.70. Nice bounce out of Apple. Now the S&P and NASDAQ dipping a little bit again. Russell dipping through lows. Supreme Court ruled on another case but will not issue a tariff ruling. Well, no follow through in Tesla. Don't like the look of that wick. Yep, same thing on Financial Juice. U.S. Supreme Court will not rule in the Trump tariff case today. Little vol collapse, did it? S&P, market's dipping a little bit on that news. Or dipping a little bit. I don't know about on that news. Tesla right at previous day high. Need to bounce here. I don't like to look at kind of flushed pre-market highs and reversed. Six, 7 jumped up to about 11% profit. All right, Tesla, I'm going to have to cut here if I don't get a quick bounce. Market's coming down, S&P through lows, NASDAQ into the red. Russell now below previous day high. Meta dipping into the red. So the market wanted an answer. Looks like the market wanted some answers on the tariff news and doesn't like that it's not getting an answer today, it appears. I mean, not a huge drop. Let's see, it looks like S&P dropped about 20 points here in the last 10 minutes. Got a couple minutes left here on this Tesla bar. I was hoping for a little snap back up, but things are looking a little heavier. Amazon through lows. A lot of chips reversing lower. All right, I'm going to need to close Tesla here. Got a little over a minute, but it's coming down. Coming down more than I wanted. S&P just went red. Yeah, I would have taken some off too if I had had them on. Bitcoin, a little dip, trying to bounce. S&P's trying to stay green. Meta ticked through lows. Goog couldn't get back up to previous day high. All right, so Tesla just tried to start bouncing on this bar, so I'll give it a minute to see if it's going to have any legs back up. Let's see if we can buy this dip up. Some of the chips are bouncing. ARM, super weak. Had a big volume bar as well. So did SMH, but it's bouncing. Netflix, super weak. Apple was weak early. Nice bounce. Kind of a good, decent little reversal pattern in Apple. Decent flush down. Aggressive bounce. Tried to sell but failed. Bouncing again. Tesla's still showing a lot of relative strength. But if it doesn't bounce, I'm still going to have to cut to manage risk here. If I close my 3-day iron condor on the day of expiry, so Monday, well, if I enter it today, I always close it today. I'm not sure I'm clear on your question. Oh, you entered a 3DTE on Tuesday. Okay. No, I think, yeah, I mean, I do that. It's kind of like, I didn't enter my BICs this morning for risk management. I did half size 6-7 for risk management, closing early because of some news. I think, yeah, I mean, I think that's prudent. S&P and NASDAQ, decent bounce. Tesla back above previous day high. Did you get in yours right at the open, Dark Avenger? I just waited on mine just to give it a little time, but I'm up 13%. Nice. Yeah, premium's just getting absolutely sucked out of here now. A lot of things bouncing. Tesla back in business. Come on, Tezzy. Show them what you're working with. Need to push through high in Tesla. First profit target's at 770. Meta popping back up. Everything's bouncing. All systems go. Bitcoin bouncing. MSTR's not bouncing. Hood's not bouncing too much. Need Tesla to push through highs. MST and coin, yeah, they are not bouncing. Banks are still just choppy, right near unchanged. Intel is still staying super strong. Just had a little bit of a dip near highs, but it's right back up towards highs. Tesla getting close to my profit target. Another little tick up. Orders at 770. It's trading at 755. Come on. Give it to me. Give it to me. Hit me. Hit my 770. It touched 760. Apple still bouncing. MU through highs, AVGO through highs. Let's see what's NVIDIA doing. NVIDIA's still trying to get green. So is PLTR. Hood's starting to bounce. Tesla definitely the best relative strength here. Besides, MU's pretty good too. MU and AVGO are good. But of the Mag 7, Tesla for sure. Amazon's nice bounce off the lows. Microsoft, nice bounce. Tesla got to 765. My order's at 770 so far. Anybody else in Tesla with me? Just has not ticked my profit target yet. I would like to get out of some risk here. Hit 765 again. Come on. Push it through, Tezzy. There we go. 770. Filled. Okay, so I started with 15. I just took off. Whoa. What's going on here? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I doubled my order on Tesla. I did 15 and 15. Oh my gosh. I was hitting the send and I hit it twice because I didn't think I hit it. Holy cow. I got to get out of some here. Well, that's a happy accident. Okay, so I had 30 lots, and I thought I had 15, but I've got 6 left now. I mean, I don't, I have, so I'm using this. I put that video out last week. I'm using the dome now, and I hide my P&L, so I didn't see it. I just show my orders. So yeah, well, that's gotta wonder how much I was down when Tesla was dipping, because I was close to cutting it down here. Anyway, that worked out in my favor. Sometimes it's okay to get a bump, because you get shit that goes against you plenty. All right, let's rip, Tesla. Got 6 left. I got a nice big buffer. In the directional trading chat channel, Moel, when we get done here, or whenever you have a chance, check out, go to the pinned messages. I did a video last week or 2 weeks ago, but it's basically this here. It's just how I'm entering orders. So I actually put the options in my watch list, and then I'm executing orders off of this thing, as opposed to like manually canceling and replacing and stuff like that. It just makes it much easier. But I explained kind of exactly what I'm doing in that video. All right, Tesla, a little pause. Amazon's still bouncing. Meta's back up above previous day high. Yeah, that one could have been ugly if Tesla would have flushed on me. Microsoft, nice bounce. Yeah, I'd always used the active trader for futures, but I just never did for options because I thought it was too clunky and too much of a pain. But I've kind of figured out my little system around it, and I like it. I really like it because I was missing a lot of trades too because I would put in a limit order, and so I've also switched over to market orders, and that's helped. Just got to make sure you're only trading the super liquid stuff. It's in the directional trading chat. Go to the top click on that little pin. You'll see the pin messages. Tesla making new highs. So I got out at 770. I don't really have any levels to work with. I'm gonna put another order to close another 3 at 870. For now, I may lower that. By the way, on my meta trade, I took a bigger loss than I wanted to. My max loss on a trade that I want to take is 2,000, and I took a $2,500 loss on that one. Let that one go a little too far. Amazon creeping back up towards highs of day. Yeah, Abash, you may have a little slippage, but the reality is if you're trading super liquid stuff, it's not that much. And sometimes you get price improved. But the biggest thing for me was, where I'm fumbling around and trying to cancel and replace my limit orders, I was missing trades both on the entry and the exits that ended up being way more costly than 2 cents a slippage. Goog pushing back up. It ticked a new all-time high earlier. Maybe looking for more all-time highs. S&P through highs, which is also through pre-market highs. NASDAQ back up. Bitcoin on the run. Higher. I wouldn't trade something like I would just stick to your top 20 stocks if you're going to use market orders. I wouldn't trade like a core weave or something, something like that with market orders. You get hurt there a little bit. Yeah, in that channel, directional trading chat, at the very top, there's a pin, a logo of a pin. Just click on that, and that's where you find pinned messages. PLTR, nice bounce back. Bouncing up to pre-market highs. Tesla pushing new highs. Which channel are you in? Directional Trading Chat is the channel you want. Find it, Moel? No, Directional Trading Chat. Not Directional Trades. Directional Trading Chat, Moel. Do I need to like remote into your computer? Son of a bitch, Moel. All right, Tezzy's pushing. Options are up to 840. My profit target's at 870. CML, you're in Intel? Yeah, that one's got some real good strength today. Real good strength. Tesla getting close. It's at 860. 865. One more little tick up would hit 870. $870 filled. Nice, Tezzy. I love a good Tezzy run. Well, I made 2 mistakes today on 2 trades. One cost me and one benefited me. Man, $2,500 loss on that Meta. How many contracts did I do? I was trying to do quick math in my head on that one. On Meta, I did Meta. I did 16 contracts. At 707. Oh my goodness, yeah. Okay. Wow. I mean, I can't say anything to Moel. I'm having problems today. That was an $11,000 position in Meta. No wonder the loss got that big. Whereas today on 7DTE, it should have been an $8,000 position. Woo! I even woke up early and went and worked out today. I don't know what my problem is. I apologize, Moel. I'm having issues as well. Meta back up. Trying to make another attempt through highs. NVIDIA is not really participating. It's still red, just kind of chopping below unchanged. Banks are just chopping near unchanged. Cryptos are getting a nice little bounce. Not as strong as Bitcoin by any means, but bouncing off the lows. So I've got 3 Tesla contracts left. Meta's pumping. Amazon's pumping. Amazon looked like it was going to take a break from its recent strength, but it's back on the train. You held through all that, Dark Avenger? Not a good practice, my friend. AVGO is really pumping now, up 3%. Let's see, what's my 6-7 doing? It's up 26%. So Dark Avenger, what's yours up? 40? And that's on half size. I'm up $1,200 on my 6-7. Be up $2,500 if I did my normal size. Well, I'm not interested in shorting anything. FYI. Just trying to see if there's a potential entry on a dip here anywhere. If Amazon pulls back before it goes through previous day high, I would consider getting an Amazon. It's just had such good strength the last week. Let's see if that can at least continue through yesterday's high. But if it pops up before that and pulls back, I probably wouldn't. Let's see what else. NVIDIA is showing relative weakness. I'm not going to get long NVIDIA. One of the reasons I got in Meta early is really I was looking at the daily chart. You know, I had that flush of these lows, you know, going back to mid-December, and then January 2nd, kind of flushed all those and bounced yesterday, and then so I was looking for that continuation. Unfortunately, just kind of got, so I had that kind of the higher time frame thesis around it, but unfortunately got kind of squeezed out before it made that move. Tesla, a little dip, but staying strong. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap the stream here. Just kind of wait and see. Like I said, I may consider getting an Amazon if we get a pullback before it pushes through previous day high. And I'll look for other things that I may have interest in to go long. I may just do some SPX vertical spreads too if I can get a pullback to say like pre-market highs, or I may go long NASDAQ. So it just depends on what's kind of showing relative strength at the time. But we'll see everybody in Power Hour, and any additional trades I will post in the I'm going to post my trades in the Directional Trades channel. If I want to chat about the trades, I will post in the Directional Trading Chat channel. All right, everybody have a good day. Talk to you soon.